It's paint stream time. Oh god. How we doing? All. Should probably stop bumping all of the things on my desk. It's gonna be a good day. You know, I probably should have organized all the paints that I have over here before I started this, because not all of these I'll need. In fact, I don't really need a lot of them. So I should probably organize that right now. I might not need that. Well, you know what? Let's do this actually. Put my cleaning cloth over there for now. Which paints am I absolutely going to need? Rygarth Flesh, Ushabti Bone, Lead Belcher. I'll need Xeris Purple eventually, but I'll put it off to the side for now just in case. Obviously, I don't have it right here, but I need Cantor Blue. I'm not going to need Martian Iron Earth or Agrax Earthshade. Also, how's my audio doing? I'm not entirely positive right now. Not going to need Corn Red, not going to need Rhinox Hide, not going to need Pink Horror. I'll put those off to the side on my desk, because at some other point, I was, like last night, I was painting another AdMech boy. Not one of the Castellan robots, I've already got those painted. All four of them. But I was painting up Skitari Vanguard. It's not done yet. Is there any way I can get it to focus? I'm not entirely sure. That's about the best I'm gonna get. It's they're the ones that are really good with like closing in on objectives, not the ones that are good at holding on to objectives in the back. So I know I'll need these. Cantor Blue. That's not it. Hold on. Ugh. Cool. So I'm pretty sure I've got it. So my next big, this is gonna be a larger painting project that I'm used to. In some ways, yeah. I'm going to be painting up this Skorpius Dunerider. Now, you might notice there's some parts of this that are missing right now. That's because, I need to do this again, there are three guys that I need to paint before I glue them to the model. And that is these two gunners on the sides, and this guy who is a gun, who will go on top here. How the model is normally supposed to look is these two gunners operate the cool guns on the side that fire away at everything. I put them in the wrong way, that's fine. But they're supposed to be on the side with the guns jutting out of these little holes, shooting everything, while this fellow, I should say, who is a gun, or at least is part gun, just blasts everything up top. That's how this model's supposed to look. But right now it doesn't look like that, because it's advised when you build the model that you keep these three guys separate and you paint them first. You're supposed to paint them before you glue them to the model, because if you already have them glued to the model, everything becomes more annoying to paint. And I know how that feels, because I've done it time and time again. Just ask me how much of a pain in the butt it was to paint Typhus, Herald of the Plague God, and I'll go off for an hour. So, this is just gonna be, hey, I want this to be painted. It's not listed in any of my current AdMech builds, but that's because I don't really have an AdMech build right now. It's mostly just like, I like AdMech. Also, I think I put this door thing on the back here. I think I might have put that on the wrong way. Just by looking, yeah. Just looking at an example of the model, I might have put it on backwards. But you know what? That's fine. To me, it looks a little bit better this way. I don't know, it's fine. Maybe I'll be able to... Whoop, maybe I can fix it right now. Oh, but that means I'll have to prime another bit of it. Ugh, that's not good. Yep, I'm definitely gonna have to prime another bit of it again. See, I fixed it, but now there's a bit of... Show this camera. There's a bit of... Right here, it looks good. But now you can see the gray plastic. And that's not okay, so I'll have to fix that one later. Plus, maybe this means I can actually get it to close properly, but oh god, I hate this sound. Yeah, this should be good. Cool. I should probably prime the inside of this part as well. It's fine. There's a lot of things that I'll just have to do later. But right now, I think I should start painting the outside bit. Or rather, maybe paint the lead belcher bit first. Yeah, there's a lot of ways that I can go with this. So I think I'm going to start with the lead belcher. There's a lot of pieces here that need little bits of lead belcher. Let's do those right now. Where's my... Let's get the medium base brush for this. So yeah, if you've never been to Paint Stream, hello. I'm just here to chill and do some painting, because painting Warhammer models is supposed to be a chill kind of thing, for the most part. So that's what I try to replicate with my Sunday paint stream. And that's why we're getting some good jazz. Because it's supposed to just be, hey, come on by, take a seat. We'll just zone out together while I paint a bunch of plastic. Can already see where the lead belcher's going. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a several stream kind of painting project. Because vehicles like this take a while to paint properly. And I want to do this one right. I mean, I never want to paint any of my models wrong, but sometimes I just want to get it done. So that I can field it in an army. In this case, I want to try to do this right. I'm definitely feeling the AdMech inspiration again, which I haven't felt in a while. Hold on. It's a little bit hot for me with this. Cool. It's a weird day weather-wise where I'm at. It was snowing a bit earlier, like really hard, and then now it's not. I don't get it. So I guess temperature-wise, that would also mean that everything's weird. That's okay. We've learned to deal with it here. Hold on. That's better. Maybe now you can actually see what I'm painting more easily. Jeez. I hate these two really thin parts on the front, or on the back of the model, I guess. Because they're really fragile. And one of them's already broken off entirely, so I've had to try my best to glue it back on, and that was fun. You can tell which one it is, because it's bent. Wow, these brushes are not that good. There's no tip to this this brush I'm using. It's fairly new as well. Like this is the third medium base brush I've gone through, and it's already. Oh, that's not gonna focus at all. How do I focus it? Like there's supposed to be a smooth tip at the end, but that's nowhere to be seen. Even if I try to twist it to give it a tip, it doesn't want to work. Part of it might just be I don't take the best care of my brushes because I don't really know how to. But I try my best, and even then it still breaks constantly. So I have to keep getting more. Oh no, I don't want to break off both of those tiny thin metally bits. Or metal colored bit. They will be colored metal once I'm done. They're all getting lead belcher. Oh, there's also these wires that are on the side. Oh, geez, this is complicated. Well, I'm just gonna keep on going. I'll ignore the metal, these little wire. There's some wire bits here on the side. There and there. Even some right here. I'm ignoring them for now because I'm not really gonna be able to, like if I ignore them now, then when I start painting the outside with Cantor blue, then I can later go back and properly fill them in with the lead belcher. Can I get a different angle of this image? I'm only seeing it from the one. Can I get a reverse shot? Like this? I've got reference images up on one of my monitors, which by the way I now have 3, which is really cool. And also my second monitor is no longer just a TV. That old TV is somewhere over there. I'll take care of it later. But right now, I've got my laptop, I've got an actual monitor, and then I've got a third monitor right over there, which is in portrait mode. So instead of being long ways, it's vertical. And that helps for stuff. Just various things. I should probably also paint this panel. Or just like getting the crevices of this panel here. It looks really bad now, but yeah. Honestly, I think I'll just pop off the door here. And I'll put it off to the side. Because I need to reprime part of it. So I'll put that on my laptop. And we're just gonna have to ignore this very obviously gray plastic area. Oh, jeez, really bad brush. Yeah, right now I'm focusing on all the lead belcher stuff. And then I might do a little bit of the inside part. I'm not going to worry about the outside just yet. Depends on how long the inside part will take. In fact, people who know things about Warhammer paints, I want your opinion on something before I do it. If you're in chat right now. So, the way I'm painting the cream color on the inside of my Skitari's robes is that I first lay down a coat of Rakarth flesh, and then once that's dry, I lay down Ushabti bone. The reason I put Rakarth flesh behind it is because since layer paints are a little bit transparent, the Rakarth flesh will really bring out exactly the right pigment that I want. I could potentially do I don't know. I'm debating if I want to do that with the inside cream parts of like the holding area where my models are supposed to, where it's imagined that the models will go when they're in transport. I could do that, but my thought process is like that color, that cream color, is currently reserved for fabric. It's the inside of a robe, and the robe is not made of metal. Whereas the inside part of a Dune Rider presumably is metal. And that might clash a little bit, that might make it a bit weird. I mean, visually speaking, it'll make everything look very nice. But it might just be a little bit jarring because one of them is supposed to be metal and the other one's not. So one thought I did have was I could use instead just one solid coat of Xandri dust, which is the same color that I use around the ring of my Death Guard army. So there's no real precedent for the material that color is used to signify. Like lead belcher, there's only one thing it could possibly be signifying, that this piece that is called lead belcher is made of metal. Like the reason why I'm painting all these rings around, why I'm painting these pipes around the ring of the Dune Rider lead belcher is because they are made of pure metal. They're just like steel piping. Or steel reinforcement or something. Yes, the rest of the model is also made of metal. Like, pretty much everything else is made of metal because it's an armored transport. It should be made of metal. But even then, I do use a different color blue for my AdMech models that have armor that's colored, but it's still made of metal. And for my AdMech my AdMech army that are wearing robes. Like, the robes are a different color of blue than the armor. That's why I use Calidor Sky for my Skitari, and for all my characters that are not armored. And why I use Cantor Blue for the Castellan robots. Because those are made of different materials, even though they're the same. They're blue, but they're not the same blue. So I could imagine doing that with the inside part of this. It's supposed to be because it's not supposed to be like, it's not entirely supposed to be like cream. I'm getting paint over my hands. Look at that. I forgot where my webcam is for a second. Hands are getting covered in paint. And that's okay. That's supposed to happen. Or rather, it's not weird when it does happen. So I don't know. Can I get an even better, like, reverse shot? I'm looking at this model from the front, and I want to look at it from the back. Give me a better angle. Well, there we go. That works. Nice. That gives me a better idea. That gives me a way better idea of what I can paint. Do this now. Yeah, I could paint this whole bit lead belcher too. This brush is so bad that it feels like I'm dry brushing instead of using actually wet paint. Yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about most of the time when I'm doing paint stream. It's really just one of those times where I'm just like, we're chill. We're chill today. I don't have much rolling around in the old brain that's worth bringing up right now. No thoughts, head empty. Except it's not entirely true. My head is never truly empty because my brain doesn't know how to shut up. I guess I could talk about my feelings on the AdMech right now. Because, like, they are my first army that I painted. Well, that I bought and painted and played with on the tabletop. They're fun, but I never really knew how to make them work. I never knew how to pilot them the way that they're supposed to be piloted and the way that makes them effective. I mostly just kind of went with whatever. And to be fair, most of the time when I was playing my AdMech army, it's when I was still learning the game. So I was trying to both learn the game and how to play an army. But now that I've kind of got a handle of how to play the game, now I can really focus on how to play the AdMech properly. So I kind of did that beforehand. And then yesterday, what I mean by beforehand, I mean before yesterday. Yesterday I played a couple more games with friends, and I'm getting a handle of how to play AdMech. Like, I know generally how they work now, and I know how to get them to do what they need to do. Especially with the Castellan robots. Because, like, I've only had 3 different gameplay sessions where I used Castellan robots. The very first one I ever played in, which I didn't know anything, I didn't know any of the rules, so I only brought 2. And then the follow-up to that, where I thought I knew how it worked, and I thought I needed more robots, which I did, but I brought 4. And when you're playing a 1,000-point AdMech army, and Castellan robots are 125 points each, that's half of my army in just robots. And they kind of died really fast. Like, I mean, they were alive on the board for an okay amount of time. The moment they started facing opposition, the moment they started to take shots, they just dropped. Again, part of that was because I didn't know how to play them, so I didn't know that when they're in their Aegis protocol, I add to their saving throws. So I just played them as if, I played them how they were listed in the codex, instead of what their saving throws were changed to. At least I think that's how that went. Also, I thought it was a good idea to level all of their shots at vehicles and artillery and tanks. They're not meant for that. Because vehicles have decent saving throws, so they can punch through stuff. Rather, vehicles are good at not dying. Especially against standard infantry. You need infantry that has if you want to tank down a tank, what you need is either infantry that has specialized weapons with a lot of AP, at least AP -2, to punch through their armor saves and get damage through them, or you bring a tank. Or, preferably, multiple tanks. That's how you deal with tanks. You don't just throw your Castellan robots out and hope they punch through. Because they're not meant to do that. Castellan robots are really good at anti-infantry. Like, it doesn't really matter that much that they only, on their own, hit on 4s, unless you spend 2 command points to activate a stratagem, which only applies if there's also a unit of Cataphrons near them. Like, it doesn't matter if they hit on 4s when they, on their own, as a base, have 9 shots per model. Which becomes 18 when they're in DACA mode. Hold on. Alright, we good. Like, yeah, so back to the Castellan robots. It doesn't really matter all that much against infantry that there's an okay amount of AP. Like, it's -2, which isn't crazy, but it's there. Problem is, they only hit on 4s. And then after that, they're only strength 6? So they're really not good with tanks, where you need at least strength 7. Yeah, no, Castellan robots are really good against infantry, because infantry have low toughness. Or at the very least, lower than 6. So if you're up against, say, orcs or Tyranids, or if some Imperial Guardsmen decide to get in your way, you've got the Castellan robots for them. But if the Imperial Guardsmen bring out their Leman Russ or the tank commanders, good luck. That's why it's really good to run Castellan robots and Cataphrons. In my experience, Cataphron destroyers work very well, because Cataphron destroyers have their heavy grav cannons, which are 5 shots each and are really good against dealing with tanks. Because, yes, they have the ability to punch through. They're only strength 5, but you have -3 AP. And also, if the thing you're shooting at has a save characteristic of 3 or a 3 up, then the damage characteristic of the heavy grav cannon becomes D3 instead of 1. So the heavy grav cannons on Cataphron destroyers are really good against dealing with things like a Leman Russ or a tank commander. Is there any other part of this that really right now needs Leadbelcher? Yes. The turbines on the back. What if your opponent has a really big gun? Ask Ben. Because Ben loves that kind of stuff. Yesterday he brought what he called the it's a giant FU gun. He could only use it once in the entire game, but if it hit, which one time it did, it dealt like 6 damage flat, which is crazy. Yep. Ben knows what I'm talking about. I can't say that word in my house, and I'm upset about that. Well, I could, but then family gets mad at me. No, it's just a 9mm, but it's real. I guess that could work. I literally just shoot your models. No, Ben, you shoot your opponent. Especially if they're playing Space Marines. If they're playing Space Marines, that's it. No holds bar. You want to bring Salamanders or Iron Hands or, God forbid, Ultramarines to my table? You get the 9mm to the head. I'm kidding. David brings Ultramarines every now and then, rarely, and he's fine. Although he does have that joke where he just drones on, like, obviously jokingly, about all of the dumb rules that Space Marines have. I get it. Space Marines are very dumb. And he knows they're very dumb. That's why he plays Guardsmen. It's just to point out the absurdity of everything. Because, oh dear God, Space Marines. We get it, GW. You like Space Marines. But some of us play armies that aren't Space Marines. Like, what about Orcs, for instance? Maybe give Orcs some good rules? Maybe make Orcs, which is a melee army, and pretty much a melee-only army, a better melee army than Space Marines? I'm just saying. That might be more beneficial to the health of the overall game. Then again, by that logic, Wizards of the Coast would have to stop printing broken stuff into Standard every time. And that's not gonna happen either. I can name a card from each set that's come out in the last year and a half in Magic that was printed directly into Standard, even in some cases Modern. Well, not some cases, the one case. Modern Horizons. There's my lead belcher there. Where it just kind of broke, not just Standard, but other formats. Every set of Magic the Gathering within the last year and a half had, well, most of them, had at least one card that broke other formats besides Standard. And also broke Standard. Like, don't get me started with 3-mana Teferi. Every time I hear Teferi, I think Teferi Time Reveler, and then I get mad. Because it just shuts down your ability to do anything on their turn. You've got that one piece of interaction that you're just waiting to cast. Well, now they cast Teferi and you can't do anything. You've got the piece that will end their combo. They play Teferi and now you can't do anything. It's not fun. I say this, by the way, as someone who has a blue-red control deck for Modern. The reason why I like blue-red control and not, say, blue-white control is, well, for one, blue-red control can't run Teferi Time Reveler. But that's not it, entirely. The bigger reason is because with red, there's more fair interaction. I'd play some lightning bolts. In fact, I'm gonna play a set of lightning bolt. That lightning bolt is fair and it's fun. Whereas Teferi's not. Yeah, this brush sucks. It's just not fun to play against Teferi Time Reveler. Nobody likes it. I know that I'm just speaking directly into the void on this one, because nobody else, like, knows Magic like that, or at all, mostly, really. But still, I just hate it. Okay. Yeah, right now I'm just looking at, like, other things. I'm still looking at the model and trying to figure out what I can do right now, because I'm not gonna, like, I don't want to paint the inside of it right now, partially because I have to prime this part again because I put it on wrong. And partially because I've been doing this for 50 minutes now. Jesus. I guess I could paint the bottom part, like the part that everything's sitting on, and call it there after that. Because I don't stream for super long. I love looking at the politics chat in my friend's Discord. It's always a fun time. And by that I mean it's not, and I hate it. Which, by the way, the election is in 2 days. Go vote. I will be. You better believe I'm voting. I must practice my civic duty of waiting in a line for far too long because people have intentionally made voting way more difficult than it should be. And dropping a piece of paper in a box that will eventually maybe, possibly, hopefully not get lost. Because, again, people have intentionally made voting way more difficult than it should be. Like, I can't even, like, properly confirm that I'm eligible to vote on Tuesday. I have a voter registration card, but I don't entirely know if that's everything I need. I'm going to look it up as soon as the stream is done. But the fact that I can't instantly confirm that frustrates me. Or maybe I can instantly confirm whether or not I will be eligible to vote based on the fact that I have a voter registration card. I don't know. The fact that I can't confirm that is frustrating. I think that's enough lead belcher for right now. Wait, nope, not yet. I missed a spot. There we go. I just needed to quickly paint another part of turbines on the front of the model. Which, by the way, I keep forgetting which part is the front and which one is the back when I play the Dunerider. Like, the front part is the part with the door, right here. I know that because that's the part where all the guns face. And there's really no use of shooting behind you in most cases, am I right? God, this brush is so messed up. Maybe I should bust out my large base brush for this part. I should probably not do this. Like, yeah, I probably should not do that when I'm not, like, when it's not directly over my desk, because I have white carpet. And this is pitch black paint. I guess I shouldn't say pitch black. There are blacker paints in existence, and I know of them. Part of me, as a joke, wants to buy the blackest paint you can buy, and paint at least part of my one of my models that. But the problem is, that black is so black that shadow does not appear. Details vanish. Light literally cannot leave the model. So it makes it look like, even though it's a three-dimensional object, it makes it look like it's a silhouette of itself. It is insanely cool, but not for model painting. Like, if I had been collecting models for years and years, and I had plenty of them, and I could afford to paint one of my models with Black 3.0 or Vanta Black. Well, I guess I can't buy Vanta Black because of that freaking guy. But I can buy Black 3.0, which is the equivalent. There's actually a really interesting story behind the blackest black paint. The blackest, the blackest black paint. So, basically what happened is, like, the concept of the blackest paint, what's called Vanta Black, which is like vertically aligned nanotube array. I think that's what it stands for. Don't quote me on that, but I think. Basically, it's regular paint, but on a nanoscopic level, just like some vipers and their scales. There's like it's just a forest of nanometer level size, like just incredibly thin tubes, just like all strutting up like this, painted just all over the painting, just all over the paint. So when you paint something with that, you're basically covering it with a bunch of pure black nanotubes, and the way that light interacts with it. Just like if you were to cut a hole in a shoebox and then close the shoebox, is light can get in, but it can't get out properly. So like, it's like if you were to put a sheet of white printer paper in a shoebox with a small hole cut in the lid, when the shoebox is open, you can see that the paper is pure white. But when you close the shoebox, the photons can't escape the box properly, or at the very least it's a lot harder for them to. They get trapped in there because there's less of a way for them to escape the shoebox. So even though you know the printer paper is pure white, it doesn't look like it. It looks like there's just pitch blackness in there. But you saw that there is a hole in the shoebox. And you saw that there was a piece of bright white printer paper. The light just can't escape properly, so it doesn't look like it. That principle is what gives Vanta Black its ability to turn three-dimensional objects into two-dimensional silhouettes of themselves. Because photons hit the object, but then they get caught in the nanotube forest. They bounce around in there forever, basically, and they don't escape. Or at least if they do escape, they escape so infrequently that the eye cannot pick up what is going on. So it looks like it's just nothing. Like right now, for like with this model I'm painting, with this Abaddon Black paint, you can see the grooves on the side, just on the model, on the part that I have currently painted. You can see that like there's a lot of part where it's just like smooth, and then it dips down a bit, and then it goes back to being smooth. But if I painted this with Vanta Black, you couldn't. It would just look like I replaced it with with a picture of itself, with something two-dimensional. It's crazy and awesome. I should totally find some pictures of the Vanta Black. Well, thing is paints with Vanta Black. Oh, that reminds me about something. I mentioned there's a story behind it. So, the person who created or discovered, I don't remember which, Vanta Black, he either like kept the rights the rights to use it for anything exclusively for himself, or he sold it to someone who then exclusively kept the rights for themselves, so no one else could buy it or use it for anything until a couple artists decided to make their own. So they made their own Vanta Black equivalent, and they called it Black 3.0. The blackest black paint you can buy. And they started selling that. So you can buy it. It's out there. You can buy Black 3.0 under the strict condition that you prove that you are not the person who created Vanta Black. So as long as you're not the person who created Vanta Black, you can buy Black 3.0. And then paint it on anything. Because the people who created Black 3.0 felt that artists should be able to use this blackest of black paint. So they made their own and then sold it to anybody who wanted to buy it. As long as they're not the one who created Vanta Black. Which I think is really funny. I'm gonna need to go at this with a smaller brush to really get into details here. Because some parts of this I can't get to with my large base brush. Like, the parts underneath the metal parts that I already painted, like right in there. I can't really get there very easily with the large base brush. So I'll just have to go back at it later. With a smaller brush. Same thing with in between the grooves. Like, I can do it, and I am doing it with this base brush, but a smaller size would make it way easier. Part of me would love to go to a Warhammer tournament. Not quite to compete, because I would lose instantly, round one. Like, I still have to look up the rule sheets for, like, basically all of my models. And tournament players and other really high level players just know. They know their stuff. Or if they have to look stuff up, it's very minimally. And also, they're at a way higher skill level than me. There's no denying that. In fact, that'd be crazy if I did. But I really just want to go just like to watch. Maybe get in some like test games with higher level players or people who are at a higher level than me. So I can see what they do and try to figure out how they think. Try to get some tips from them. Because I like the concept of competitive Warhammer. But the problem is, neither of my armies are top tier. And I'm not going to buy into a top tier army. Partially because that's lame and stupid and I hate it. And partially because what is top tier right now will hopefully not, may not be top tier later on. So, like, if I were to spend a couple $100 building a top tier salamanders list, maybe in 10th edition they nerf salamanders into oblivion. Who knows? And now salamanders suck, or they nerf flamers, and now flamers suck. And since that's most of salamanders and how they play, now maybe salamanders just suck. And maybe they buff AdMech in some weird way, or they give Death Guard more fun tricks. I don't really know. Or maybe they make orcs viable. Who knows? To be honest, I prefer the latter. Because, oh my lord, I just want Games Workshop to acknowledge that people play more than just Space Marines. And especially Xenos players. Because Xenos players, and to a lesser extent, Chaos players like myself, get the shaft. I say to a lesser extent because Chaos Space Marines are still Space Marines. Even if they're Plague Marines or Rubik Marines or whatever. Still Space Marines. So obviously GW is going to give them some amount of love and affection and good rules. But what about Tyranids? What about Eldar? What about Tau? Tau are really suffering in 9th edition from what I've been told. Because Tau want to just like sit in one place and gun everything down. That worked pretty okay in 8th. But now we're in 9th. 9th isn't about killing anymore. Well, it is, but to a greater extent it's about holding objectives. That's how the game is played now. I think there's going to be enough painting for the day. At least for stream purposes. I'm still going to finish up what I've done here. Touch up the model a bit. And I want to finish one other model that I'm painting. I want to finish up my Vanguard that I'm painting on the side. But next week, next Sunday, you better believe we're back to paint stream. I might stream on Saturday. I might stream Among Us with some friends. Yeah, I found a friend group that we've just kind of decided we're just gonna play Among Us on Saturday. And a number of them are streamers, so maybe I'll get in on that game. I might still stream Friday. I might just do like weekend streams, or maybe move the Friday one to Tuesday. I don't know yet. Rather move the Friday one to Saturday and then guarantee a Tuesday one. All depends on just what I want. Because I'm not exhausted from work now every time I get home. In fact, I feel pretty good. Because I'm not working 48 hours a week, just normal 40. So yeah. I don't know, that should be about it. I'm gonna chill. I hope everyone has a good day.